Before you skip this video, check one thing. How much did you spend the last time you filled your car? Now imagine that number doubling. Because right now, something is happening in the global economy that almost nobody is explaining properly. And if it continues for just a few more weeks, it won't just affect fuel prices. It will hit your food, your electricity, your rent, and almost everything you pay for. This isn't fear. This is a chain reaction that has already started, and it begins in a place most people have never even looked at, a narrow strip of water called the Strait of Hormuz. It doesn't look important. It's just a thin line between Iran and Oman. But this one route carries nearly 20% of the world's oil supply every single day. Now, here's the problem. When tension rises in that region, shipping companies don't wait around. They slow down, they hesitate. Some stop completely, insurance costs spike, routes become risky, and suddenly, less oil starts moving. That's when prices react. Not slowly, instantly. And we are already seeing the early signs of that shift. But here's what most people don't understand. Oil is not just fuel. It's the base cost of modern life. Let me explain. Every product you buy has been transported by trucks, by ships, by planes. All of that runs on fuel. So when oil prices rise, everything becomes more expensive to move. And that cost always ends up with you. Now here's where it gets worse. For months, people were expecting relief. Lower interest rates, cheaper loans, easier living costs. But rising oil prices change everything. Because when energy gets expensive, inflation comes back. And when inflation rises, interest rates don't fall. They stay high. So now you're stuck in a double squeeze. You pay more for daily life, and borrowing money stays expensive. But don't miss this part, because this is where things really start to accelerate. In places like the United States, fuel prices react very quickly. You'll see it at the pump first, then in delivery costs, then in groceries, then in everyday products. It spreads quietly. At first it's small increases, then suddenly, everything feels more expensive. Now shift your focus to the UK and Europe. The situation there is even more sensitive, because many of these countries rely heavily on imported energy, especially natural gas. So when global supply tightens, prices jump fast. And we've seen this before. Energy bills rise, households feel pressure, businesses struggle to keep up. And when that happens, the entire economy slows down. Now here's something most people don't talk about. During times like this, not everyone loses. Some companies actually benefit. When prices go up quickly, consumer costs rise immediately. But when things calm down later, prices don't always drop as fast. That gap creates profit. And it's one reason why these situations feel so frustrating. Because the pressure stays longer than it should. Now, let's connect everything. This is not just about oil. It's about a domino effect. Fuel gets expensive, shipping costs rise, delivery slows down. That creates shortages, and shortages push prices even higher. Electronics, clothing, car parts, construction materials, everything moves through this system. So even if you don't notice it immediately, you will feel it over time. And here's the most important part. We are still at the early stage. That means the real impact hasn't fully hit yet. So what should you watch? Fuel prices in your area, electricity and gas bills, grocery prices over the next few weeks. These are the first signals. They tell you how fast this is spreading. Because once this fully kicks in, it becomes much harder to avoid. And this is exactly why most people get caught off guard. Not because it happens suddenly, but because they ignore the early signs. So I want you to do something simple. Go to the comments right now and tell me one thing. What is the price of fuel in your city today? Let's track this together, because what you're seeing right now might be the beginning of something much bigger. And if you think this is the only system starting to show pressure, watch the next video on your screen, because there are other warning signs that most people are still ignoring. Stay alert, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.